Well, it's about time we cover my favorite Ego and Limbus company, and that is going to be Merceau's Screwloose Wallop. If you read the title, you might be wondering, why is this the most underrated Ego and Limbus company? And I'm going to explain that, but first, let me tell you what it does. Screwloose Wallop is a 10th level Ego that only Merceau has access to at the moment. It has a 23 base and a +4 roll, attack rate of 2, and blunt damage. After attack, gain 3 protection, which is alright. After attack, gain 1 surgery next turn. We'll get into that. And on heads hit, inflict 3 paralysis, which is a pretty decent amount of paralysis. Now, the whole shtick of this Ego is your surgery. Surgery next turn, right? What does surgery do? You lose 20% of your max HP, but you gain 20% extra damage, and you gain 1 haste per count, right? This could be phenomenal. At max, you can have 4 haste and 80% more damage, but you're also going to be way lower health. 80% of your health is going to be gone. Well, you also die when you use it 5 times, so it's a little bit of a double-sided dice, but if you get it to where you have 4 surgeries, you're going to be doing 80% more damage. Now, that is phenomenal, but you just can't get hit, and if you don't get hit, by golly, will you ever be doing a lot of damage, and have a lot of haste on you too. The passive of this Ego is called Final Augmentation. If you use this Ego at 25% or less HP, you're going to gain 3 attack power up, 1 defense power up, and haste every turn, but you die after 3 turns of using it. It's kind of like the Heart of Aspiration works in Library Arena, which is pretty good. I mean, in some circumstances, if you're going to die anyways, you might as well use it. But if you're not, then, it's a little bit of a double-sided coin, like the surgeries, but I think that's the whole shtick of this Ego, right? Big rewards, big risk. And that's why I think it is very good, especially if you just use 4 of the surgeries and you're chilling. Although this Ego isn't necessarily that cheap to use, to spam it out, you're going to have to use it 4 times to get the optimal amount, but it's going to cost you not necessarily that much, but it's still the average for a Teth, being 2 Sloth, 1 Pride, and 2 Envy, and 20 Sanity. So, it's going to cost you a little bit, right, but it is definitely worth it, I would tell you. Although, the worst thing about it is the resistances, which are going to become Fatal to Wrath, Fatal to Gloom, and Ineffective to Pride. Although, Ineffective to Pride means you're going to be absolutely working Chromer, but other than that, I don't have much good things to say about it, just like his base. Now, if you decide to crow this Ego, which is actually a pretty good idea, you're going to get a 21 roll with a +8 coin, which is good. I mean, Tefts, you'll most likely can roll coins. So, you're also going to attack with a 2 blunt damage. After attack, you gain 2 surgery instead of 1 next turn. So, it's good. It's pretty good for that. You also heads hit, you inflict 3 paralysis, and you also raise your stagger threshold by 30% other damage dealt. So, that's actually very good, because this Ego has quite a high damage. I mean, it's 50 as the little multiplier on it is 50 compared to usual 45 that most Tefts have, if they even get that high. So, you're actually going to be gaining quite a bit of stagger threshold, especially if you're already like 1 or 2 surgeries in. So, pretty good, I'd have to say. Although that's pretty good, it's not nearly as good as the drip, because I love this Ego's drip, right? It's just so colorful and goofy on the corrosion, and just colorful on the awakening. So, I gotta say, easy 10, easy peasy lemon squeezy 10. And when it comes to strength of this Ego, I gotta say, it buffs itself again with the passive, it raises your stagger threshold, blah blah blah, that's not much, but it has the alright rolls, right? The base is really high, it's one of the highest bases for attack, right? 23, that's high, but it also deals more damage just in general, so that's easy 10 for the strength. Honestly, I might just have to put it at 11, because it's just that good. It's just that good. Also, it's an Envy skill, so if you want to run Middle Merceau, get some Envy buffs on yourself, then you're going to be able to do that with this Ego. And last, but certainly not least, its usefulness, right? You can paralyze them, you can gain some stagger threshold, you can gain a lot of haste. No, you can gain a lot of haste, right? If you just want to use this a couple times, right? You're not using it for the strength, you're using it for like 2 times for haste, right? You're going to get 2 haste every turn, every starter turn, right? That's good, that's great, actually. And paralysis and surgery would just be a bonus, right? Extra damage, extra haste. Like, holy smokes. Such a good and useful Ego, that's probably going to be a 10 as well. Well, that's about it, but I really do hope that I opened up some of you guys' eyes to just how good surgery is, and just how strong this ego can be with its solid base, its useful sin affinity being envy, right? Envy Merceau is a pretty solid thing to run, right? Middle Merceau, very good. But it has that going, it has a little bit of attack weight, it has a decent roll, right? Pretty average roll, I guess, though. But the paralysis is nice, you can raise your stagger threshold, blah blah blah. The passive is pretty decent, right? But the surgery, you want to use it for the haste, you want to use it for the damage. Its only negative thing about it is you lose health, but if you're running the most recent and best Merceau ID, which is Blade Lineage Mentor Merceau, he thrives on being low HP. So, kind of odd that this brings you to low HP, but also you have a Merceau that benefits from it. So, I don't know. Coincidence? Maybe. But even if it isn't, that's going to work very well. So I hope some of y'all actually use this instead of regret. But maybe you won't, maybe you will. But that's about it. Have a good one. Ooh, almost forgot. This E.G.O is not indiscriminate on the corrosion. So that's another good thing for it. But that is the last thing I got to say. So have a good one.